Welcome to NarrativeNook audio tales where enchanted stories come to life. If you enjoy our stories, please subscribe, like and share to support our channel. Enjoy listening.
Is this Harmony? Cecilia asked her daughter, who replied, "Yes, it is." Cecilia examined the photo again, then zoomed in on a frontal shot that clearly showed the wrist. She zoomed in as much as possible and asked her daughter, "Is there a red mole here?" Sophia leaned in for a closer look, then shook her head. "No. That's it then. Harmony has a red mole on her arm. With today's advanced technology, isn't it possible for someone to use computer software to swap faces? Have you considered that someone might be framing this child?" Cecilia retorted. Sophia was stunned for a few seconds. She had been overly worried about her son's potential marriage and had never gotten to know Harmony before. "Really?" she asked in surprise. "I have a keen sense of judgment. I can tell at a glance whether it's this child or not. Harmony may be thin, but she has some flesh on her. Look at this model in the photo. She's emaciated. It's clear she has a larger frame. I wonder who is trying to frame this child by swapping faces and sending these photos to you," Cecilia finished, looking quite angry. Sophia believed her mother's words. She had always been puzzled about the intentions of the person who sent the photos. Now, it seemed that the person intended to break up her son's relationship with Harmony. Thus, it was evident that this person harbored ill will toward Harmony or possibly toward her son, wanting to cause him pain. Regardless, Sophia had now realized that she had fallen into someone else's trap. After Sophia regained her composure, she was not only angry but also determined to find out who this despicable person was. She wanted to know who dared to meddle in her family's affairs and harm her son. Sophia returned to her room, picked up her tablet, and opened her email. She intended to lure this person out. "I am very grateful for the photos you sent. To show my gratitude, I am willing to give you a reward of 150,000, she replied to the email. Meanwhile, Yana, who was packing up to return to Dansbury, heard the notification of a new email. She immediately returned to the couch and picked up her tablet to check. Her heart skipped a beat when she saw Sophia's reply. Anyone would be tempted by the prospect of getting 150,000 for nothing. Right? Yana believed that she had done Sophia a great favor by giving her an excuse to eliminate a daughter-in-law like Harmony. So, she thought Sophia's gratitude was genuine. Just as she hesitated, another message came in. "If it's inconvenient for you to show up, please send me your bank account number. I'll transfer the money to you. I never owe anyone." Yana's hesitation disappeared right away. Now, all she had to do was send her bank account number, and she would soon receive 150,000. This was like money falling from the sky, an irresistible temptation for a greedy person like Yana. Without hesitation, she typed in her bank account number and replied, "Thank you, Mrs. Weiss." She believed she had done a good deed. It seemed that the Weisses were also very dissatisfied with Harmony. So, all of Harmony's previous displays of affection were in vain. She was destined never to marry into the Weisses. Sophia was just baiting this person out. She didn't expect that, under the lure of money, they would actually send her bank account number. Looking at the account number, Sophia summoned Leia and said, "Find out the owner of this account. I want the most detailed information." "Okay. But this account is from Laukreist. It will take some time to find out." Sophia nodded. "Whichever way, get it done as soon as possible." She put her tablet aside and let out a sigh. A wave of self-blame washed over her. She had acted too impulsively this time, almost jeopardizing her son's happiness. She went downstairs to keep her mother company. Cecilia asked, "Did you find anything?" The person gave me their account number, and I've sent Leia to verify it." "This person is clearly up to no good," Cecilia said angrily, then turned to her daughter. Sophia, when you married Artie, our family wasn't well off. But you've come a long way, and you know better than anyone that true happiness can only be found when two people love each other. Sophia nodded. Mom, I was wrong. After a pause, she confessed, I also made a mistake. I met Harmony privately. Cecilia was surprised. What? You met her privately? What did you say to her? I thought she was a promiscuous girl because of the photos, so I hoped she would leave Ezekiel on her own. You're too impulsive, Sophia. I understand that. You're worried about who Ezekiel's future wife will be, but you can't act so rashly. Cecilia looked at her daughter. I will apologize to Miss Mayo, Sophia said. She glanced at the time, it was past 9 p.m. It seemed her son had gone to Harmony. You're just too concerned about Ezekiel. Yes, when I met Miss Mayo today, I could tell that she's not a bad person. Her eyes are pure, her demeanor is good, and she doesn't seem like someone who would do anything for money. I've asked around for you. I have a friend. In the industry, her daughter-in-law is in the entertainment business. She said that Harmony is a hardworking and ambitious girl, but she never picked up any bad habits from the industry. She's a genuine person. Sophia was surprised that her mother had also looked into it. Mom, you really invested in this. Of course, I have my eyes set on her to be my granddaughter-in-law. Sophia sighed. I can't believe I was manipulated. It's truly frustrating. Meanwhile, Yenna stared at her phone, waiting for the transfer of $150,000. However, she waited for a while and didn't receive any transfer information. She became alert. Is Mrs. Weiss intentionally testing me? Could she have seen through my plan? At that moment, she quickly packed her bags and prepared to leave. She had to get as far away as possible. Harmony had returned to the hotel to rest after the gala. On the way, Sarah informed her that her encounter with Jensen that night had already sparked a heated discussion on the internet. Look, someone even found photos of the two of you on campus. I don't know who took them, Sarah said, then sighed. Jensen is a decent guy. It would be good if you can develop a relationship with him. Harmony couldn't help but feel bitter. Sarah, is what I'm doing really right? What will Ezekiel do when he sees this? Will it provoke him? When he comes to confront you, you can only use this as an excuse. Otherwise, how will he give up on you? And how will you explain it to his mother? Sarah said. Just then, the doorbell of Harmony's hotel room rang. It must be the food delivery, said Sarah. I'll get the door. When Sarah opened the door, she was taken aback and stepped back in disbelief. The man outside the door appeared somewhat disheveled and was panting, clearly having run all the way here. It was Ezekiel. Sarah was startled. She knew Ezekiel would come to find Harmony, but she didn't expect him to arrive so quickly. Harmony. Harmony, Sarah quickly called out to the girl on the couch. Harmony was already feeling tired. Without looking up, she murmured, Sarah, I don't have much of an appetite. You go ahead and eat. I just need some rest for a little while. Sarah was about to greet Ezekiel when she noticed him raise a finger to his lips, signaling her to be quiet and asking her to leave. Under his intense gaze, Sarah had no choice but to obediently depart. Unaware that the person behind her was not Sarah, Harmony closed her eyes, feeling completely exhausted. She was not only physically tired but also emotionally drained. The light illuminated her face, with her closed eyes and furrowed brows revealing her unhappiness. On his way there, Ezekiel had thought of many questions to ask her. He wanted to inquire why she was so close to that man. He wanted her to explain. He wanted to compel her to say that she only loved him. However, when he finally approached her and saw her beautiful, doll-like face, all his anger dissipated. All he desired now was to hold her in his arms. Sarah, can you massage my shoulders? They're so sore. Harmony pleaded, still with her eyes closed. So, Ezekiel extended his hands and gently massaged her shoulders. Harmony enjoyed it for a while, but then she sensed something was off. Why were Sarah's fingers so long, and why was the pressure stronger? Thus, she opened her eyes only to find a certain someone. Harmony sat up in fright, looking incredulously at the man standing behind her, stuttering, "You. What are you doing here?" Ezekiel gazed at her with a mixture of helplessness and annoyance. "What do you think? I sent so many messages. Why didn't you reply? Why were you walking arm in arm with another man? Why didn't you call me? Do you know how worried I was?" He bombarded her with all the questions that had been bothering him the entire journey. Harmony was somewhat dazed by his questions. Although she had answers, she dared not speak them. Harmony immediately recalled his mother's words. She bit her lip and finally said, "That man is my senior, the one I have liked since my student days. Ezekiel, I feel too inferior in front of you. I'm not good enough for you. Everyone knows I'm not good enough for you, so let's break up." Her words were stuttered, as if she had lost the ability to articulate. Ezekiel stood with arms akimbo, his eyes fixed on her. "Have I come all this way for you to break up with me here? Harmony, I've told you before, once you've slept with me, you're responsible for life. Whether you're good enough or not, it's not up to others to decide. It's up to me. Besides, don't you know whether we're compatible or not?" His latter words were filled with ambiguity. Harmony also caught on, her pretty face blushing as she turned her head away. "I don't care who you liked before. From now on, you're mine, and you can only have feelings for me," Ezekiel declared dominantly, something he had never done to anyone before. Harmony was choked up, and just then, a knock came at the door. She passed by Ezekiel to answer the door, and found Jensen outside, holding a box of desserts. "Harmony, this is for you. I heard this is the best patisserie. I believe you'll like it." Harmony swallowed nervously and said to him, "Jensen, I'm a bit busy right now, and it's not convenient for me to accept your gift. You should go back to your room first." Jensen had conversed with Harmony earlier that day and noticed she seemed in a bad mood. As a man, he knew the best time to make a move was when a woman was vulnerable. So, Jensen thought he might have a chance. He had personally bought these pastries, hoping that Harmony would invite him in for a chat. He definitely wouldn't leave so easily. "Harmony, I noticed you weren't in a good mood today. Do you want me to keep you company?" Jensen asked. Harmony quickly shook her head. "No need, thank you." Just then, a man turned the corner. Jensen was left speechless by his tall, handsome appearance and the noble aura he emitted. "I can accompany my girlfriend. I don't need you to do it. Now, if you don't want trouble, leave." Ezekiel growled angrily. How dare someone try to take his woman? If they wanted to die, they should just say so. He would give them a swift end. Jensen was completely intimidated. He held the box of pastries somewhat awkwardly. "Harmony, I didn't know your boyfriend was here. I'll still give these to you." No, I don't like sweets, Jensen. You should go rest," Harmony said, promptly closing the door. Furthermore, she had sensed Ezekiel's strong dissatisfaction. As soon as she closed the door, sure enough, the man approached, his eyes filled with dominance fixed on her. "I wasn't by your side for one day, and you're already flirting with other men? Am I not enough for you?" Harmony wailed internally. She didn't have a choice, did she? "Ezekiel, let's sit down and talk, don't be like this. I only want to communicate with you this way." Ezekiel's gaze was possessive. Harmony quickly pushed him away. "Ezekiel, let's sit down and have a proper conversation. We'll chat in bed then," Ezekiel said and lifted her up. Harmony exclaimed in surprise, feeling Ezekiel's complete possessiveness for the first time. Sigh. I knew I shouldn't have used this method to make him leave. It would only make him angrier. At this moment, Sarah was in her room, leaving Harmony to her own devices. Ezekiel looked furious. Harmony pushed him away. Wait, I'm tired today. I don't want to do it. Do you not want to, or are you unwilling? Ezekiel had already taken off his shirt, revealing his chiseled abs and chest muscles, which were impossible to look away from. Harmony indulged in the thought that if this was her last night with him, she would be willing, even if this man consumed her. Why should I refuse if this would be our last night? After all, I would never have a chance with him anymore. Ezekiel, this is our last time. If you want it, I'll give it to you. But after tomorrow, let's break up. Harmony said. Ezekiel bent down to hold her face, looking at her with a puzzled gaze. Why are you breaking up with me all of a sudden? Haven't I been good enough to you? Harmony shook her head. No, you've been too good to me. Besides my parents, you treat me the best. It's just that I'm not deserving. Ezekiel immediately silenced her with a passionate kiss, warning her in a muffled voice, not another word. Would he not know if she was deserving enough? As he spoke, he reached out to tear off her evening dress. I'll do it. This is very expensive. If it's torn, I can't afford it. Harmony was still a very practical person. This dress was said to be worth millions. She didn't want to pay for it. Ezekiel couldn't care less about the expensive dress at this moment. She looked so beautiful that night that he really wanted to devour her. I'll pay for it. The man said dominantly. It was just an evening gown. It would only add some excitement to their night. Harmony thought that the man would just tear it off and discard it. To her surprise, he grabbed her wrists together. Ezekiel, let me go, don't play these games. Harmony was genuinely scared. Ezekiel, however, comforted her gently. Don't worry, it won't hurt as long as you cooperate. Harmony felt like she was going insane. If this was the madness of their final night, then she would cooperate with him. When Sophia returned to her room, she finally remembered to inform her son that she could apologize to Harmony over the phone if she was with him. However, despite making several attempts, Ezekiel still wouldn't answer his phone. Unfortunately, Ezekiel had left his phone in the car in his hurry to meet Harmony. Sophia had no option but to wait until the following day to get in touch with her son again. Furthermore, her assistant was currently in the process of collecting the Weiss's power to locate the account owner. After a night of intense passion, Harmony found herself almost exhausted in the man's embrace. However, as dawn broke, she made up her mind to quietly get out of bed and leave. Suddenly, a strong arm wrapped around her from behind. The man, who had just woken up, caught her. Where are you going? Were you satisfied last night? The man behind her kissed her back. Harmony blushed, finding it difficult to face him. However, deep down, she knew that last night was their final moment of madness. She had been a bit greedy. But now, she couldn't afford to be greedy anymore. I'm leaving today, Harmony said, glancing at the $1 million evening gown on the floor, discarded like a rag. She could hardly bear to look at it. Last night, it had become nothing more than a prop for the man. Ezekiel held her possessively, speaking with authority, you're not going anywhere. Cancel all your work. You're staying with me. Harmony bit her lip, closed her eyes, and broke free from his grip. Ezekiel, stop it. I told you, let's break up. Why are you breaking up? Where is this coming from? Ezekiel turned her around to face him, looking puzzled. Harmony turned her face away. No reason, just, we're not compatible. You know best whether we were compatible last night, Ezekiel smirked, his tone full of innuendo. Harmony blushed and glared at him, pushing him away and standing up. Anyway, I'm unilaterally declaring a breakup. I don't care if you agree or not, I'm breaking up. After saying that, she added firmly, I definitely want to break up. Ezekiel became serious now. Looks like she's not taking no for an answer. But why won't she tell me the reason? Fine. Give me a reason. For breaking up then. If I can accept it, we'll break up. Ezekiel challenged her. Harmony certainly had no excuses. She couldn't possibly say that it was because his mother disapproved of her, could she? No, it was definitely not something she should say. There's no reason. I just want to break up, Harmony replied, sounding somewhat childish, willful, and unreasonable. Harmony, let's have a proper conversation, Ezekiel said, and was about to get up when the doorbell rang. Harmony went to open the door, and the man behind her hurriedly said, Don't open it yet. Harmony turned around to see him sitting on the bed with his sexy birthday suit. Naturally, she didn't want others to see, so she said, Take your time getting dressed. I'll go out first. Harmony opened the door to find Sarah, who was very concerned about their relationship. She stepped out and closed the door. Sarah quickly asked her, How did it go? You guys didn't fight last night, did you? Did he give you a hard time? Harmony shook her head. I proposed a breakup, but he didn't agree. Of course, he wouldn't agree. You proposed a breakup for no reason. He's so prestigious. Would he not care about his reputation? Meanwhile, Miles, who was retrieving luggage from the car, found Ezekiel's phone inside. He brought it up, and upon seeing Harmony, he quickly asked, Miss Mayo, where's Mr. Weiss? Harmony pointed at the door. He's still in the room. Miles went to knock on the door while Harmony and Sarah went to a cafe to chat. Ezekiel answered the door, and Miles quickly handed him the phone. Mr. Weiss, you left in such a hurry last night that you left your phone in the car. I checked, you have several missed calls. He took the phone and saw that his mother had called several times last night. He couldn't help but wonder if something had happened to his grandmother. Without wasting any time, Ezekiel called back. Ezekiel, you finally answered the phone. Where did you go last night? Mom, is something wrong with Grandma? I accidentally left my phone in the car last night. Grandma is okay. I just wanted to ask, are you currently with Miss Mayo? Ezekiel didn't hold back and admitted, yes, I went to see her last night. Is she with you now? No, she's out. Did she mention breaking up with you? Sophia asked again. Ezekiel was taken aback. Mom, how did you know she wanted to break up with me? How could his mother, who was thousands of miles away, guess it? Did you break up with her? Sophia asked again. Ezekiel firmly said, Of course, I won't break up with her, Mom. I will never end our relationship. I love her. Sophia heard her son's heartfelt words, and she said on the other end, Ezekiel, I did something foolish. I met Miss Mayo privately and persuaded her to end things with you. You asked her to break up with me? Why? Ezekiel asked in surprise. Sophia, on the other end, could only explain the whole story to her son and finally said to him, I want to apologize to Miss Mayo now, so can you hand her the phone? She's not with me right now. Mom, find out who that person is as soon as possible. I want to know who dares to do such a thing behind my back. They will certainly pay for it. My people are investigating, and there should be results today. When you bring Miss Mayo back, let's have a meal together. Okay, Mom. I will bring her back to see you today. Ezekiel said hurriedly. Now, he finally knew why Harmony wanted to break up with him. It turned out that his mother had met her privately. Thinking of how he had punished her all night because of this, Ezekiel couldn't help but feel guilty. He got dressed and went downstairs to find Harmony. At this moment, Harmony and Sarah were discussing the next steps in the hotel's cafe. Just as Harmony was about to say something, she looked up and saw Ezekiel coming over. She quickly gave Sarah a look. "Sarah, stop talking, he's here." Sarah quickly stood up and greeted him with a smile. "Mr. Weiss, you're here. Have a seat." "Sarah, can I talk to Harmony alone?" Ezekiel asked. "Of course. You guys talk," Sarah agreed and left, leaving Harmony at a loss as to how to face Ezekiel. She just held her teacup and started drinking. "I know why you want to break up with me. It's because of my mom, isn't it?" The man across the table said directly. Pfft. Harmony, who hadn't had time to swallow her tea, sprayed it directly onto Ezekiel's face. Ezekiel was also completely caught off guard, believing he hadn't done anything to deserve such treatment. Spooked, Harmony quickly took a napkin and came over. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to," she apologized as she hastily wiped his face. "You did it on purpose," Ezekiel grumbled somewhat aggrievedly, staring at her with his amber eyes. "I really didn't." Harmony felt guilty, too. Ezekiel held her hand in his. "It's okay, I don't mind." Harmony wanted to pull her hand back, but the man held it even tighter. How did you know your mom wanted us to break up?" Harmony asked him after regaining her senses. Since he has also learned about it, he should end things with her and not make it difficult for his mother. "My mom told me," Ezekiel revealed. A hint of pain flashed in Harmony's eyes. "So, you're here to negotiate our breakup, right?" "I'm willing to break up. I don't want to make things difficult for your family. I don't want you to fall out with your family because of me." Ezekiel frowned. "Break up? Haven't you ever thought about fighting for a relationship till the end?" Of course, Harmony had thought about it, but wouldn't it only make things difficult for his mother? "I don't want to cause any inconvenience for anyone. I would rather bear the pain on my own for a while than bring harm to your family," Harmony spoke honestly, simultaneously retracting her hand. "Now that you are aware of our breakup, let's bring it to a clean conclusion." Ezekiel abruptly pulled her back into his embrace. "That will depend on whether you can manage the substantial termination fee." Harmony's eyes widened. Is he asking for a breakup fee? How much? She had a bad feeling that this man would name a sum she could never repay in her lifetime. "I'm quite expensive, and I treated you so well last night. The breakup fee is 10 billion. As expected, certain someone made a huge demand. Harmony was completely stunned. 10 billion? You might as well kill me. Even if you sold me, I wouldn't be worth 10 billion. Ezekiel smirked. All right, I'll buy you. I can afford to pay 10 billion. Harmony was instantly overwhelmed. This man was just messing with her. Ezekiel, stop fooling around. Let's just talk about the breakup. You don't want to upset your mother either, do you? Harmony said. Ezekiel nodded. Of course not, but my mother called earlier and said she wants to meet you again as well as reconsider the matter of you becoming her daughter-in-law. Harmony's eyes widened. What did you say? Your mother is willing to see me again? Of course, considering how much her son loves you, she would meet you, said Ezekiel as he planted a kiss on her lips in public. Harmony, forgetting her shyness, held his face and asked seriously. Are you sure your mother really wants to see me again? Ezekiel and his mother had decided not to tell her about someone using AI technology to synthesize her photos. After all, Harmony would definitely feel uncomfortable if she knew. So, Ezekiel certainly wouldn't elaborate on this to her. I'm sure. You'll go back to Averna with me later. My mother wants to see you again, and she has other things to say to you. Harmony took a deep breath. As long as there was a glimmer of hope to be with him, she would not give up. She nodded. Okay. Let's go back and see your mother. At this moment, Sophia was also waiting for a message. But with the Weiss's power, she didn't have to wait long. Soon, a message came. Leah came over with the information. Mrs. Weiss, we've found out. You should know this person, too. Who is it? It's Yana. Mr. Ezekiel's assistant. She registered this account. Sophia gritted her teeth in anger. I didn't expect it to be her. Now I understand why she targeted Miss Mayo. It's because she has desires on Ezekiel. She is taking revenge on Miss Mayo. So, it's obvious that those photos were maliciously pieced together by her, Leah said. Where is she now? On a flight back to Dansbury. Have our people bring her to the company. I won't let her off easily for this. Sophia said. Anyone who dared to obstruct her son's happiness must pay a price. Sophia thought of something and said, transfer $150,000 to her account first. I worry she might realize that I've seen through her plan. All right, as long as we catch her, we can recover this money later. Meanwhile, Yana was on the plane. She was a bit panicked, but she thought maybe the money had just been delayed in reaching her account. Harmony and Ezekiel returned to Averna from Delford. She was still agitated the entire journey, not knowing what was waiting for her ahead. Ezekiel tried to comfort her several times, but couldn't get her to relax. Even when they reached Cecilia's, Harmony was so nervous that she dared not to enter. Ezekiel, we should meet outside instead, she suggested. Before Ezekiel could speak, a clear female voice came. Miss Mayo, come in. Harmony saw Sophia walking toward her from the garden, her smile filled with gentle love. Harmony was stunned for a few seconds. Mom. You scared her. Come and comfort her. Ezekiel said. Hearing that, Harmony quickly waved her hands. No, I'm fine. Naturally, Sophia felt the need to personally greet Harmony. She extended her hand and clasped Harmony's. Harmony, let's continue our conversation indoors. Mrs. Weiss, I'm sorry, I truly love Ezekiel, and I don't want to end our relationship. Harmony took this opportunity to express her deepest feelings. Sophia looked at her son and smiled. Miss Harmony Mayo, you have successfully passed my test. From here on, I acknowledge your role as my son's girlfriend. Test? Harmony blinked. She hadn't expected this to be a test. Good heavens! I almost left Ezekiel and nearly had a rumored relationship with another man. Thank goodness I passed. Yes, this was a test from my mother. She thought you would take the money and leave me, but not only didn't you take the money, you also loved me very much. So, my mother thinks you are a suitable daughter-in-law. Ezekiel cooperated with his mother in speaking. Harmony, standing by, blinked nervously. Really? Can I really be with Ezekiel? This is my son's choice, and I have always respected his choices. Sophia smiled, secretly vowing that she would make up for the pain she had caused Harmony this time by loving her doubly in the future. Cecilia also came over with a smile. We're all family now. Why are we still standing outside talking? Let's go inside and feast. Harmony's eyes were about to well up with tears of excitement. It was just a test. When Sophia and Cecilia went in first, she turned around and threw herself into Ezekiel's arms. I'm sorry about last night. I didn't mean to get close to another guy. Ezekiel gently ruffled her hair, his heart aching for her. I know you were just acting. But don't do that again. Harmony quickly nodded. I will never, ever do that again. Entering the hall, Cecilia had prepared a feast. Harmony saw her favorite dishes, which Cecilia had asked her about last time, so now her 3 favorite dishes were on the table. Her heart was instantly warmed and moved. Ezekiel led her to the table. Let's enjoy the meal. After we're done eating, let's go shopping with Grandma. Sophia suggested to Harmony. Great. Let's all go together as a family, Ezekiel laughed. Cecilia was also delighted. Now, she had a daughter and a future granddaughter-in-law to go shopping with. She was thrilled. At the same time, Yana had just gotten off the plane when she received a message alert. She picked up her phone to check. When she saw the $150,000 transfer, she immediately smiled happily. Now, she was relieved. Sophia really wanted to thank her. However, she had also heard that Sophia was a very kind person. Now, not only had Yana exposed Harmony, but she had also received $150,000. She was so lucky. Just then, she received a phone call. Hello? Yana, Mrs. Lloyd heard that you were fired. She values talent and wants you to continue working for the company. Really? I'm so happy. I accept. Good, come back to the head office immediately to report. Yana thought she was being favored by the heavens. However, little did she know that the Weiss's lawyer was waiting for her there. As soon as Yana entered the company, she was escorted into an office by a bodyguard. The police and a lawyer were already waiting for her there. Who are you people? Yana's countenance changed. Miss Yana, you are under arrest. On what grounds are you arresting me? Just then, a video was projected. Sophia and Ezekiel were both there. Yana, you violated my girlfriend Harmony's image rights using AL technology and deceived my mother with these photos. Also, you secretly tore up the original contract of my company's project. For all this, you must pay the price. Yana's face turned pale with shock. She hadn't expected her crimes to be discovered. Mrs. Weiss, I'm sorry. I just wanted to show you that that woman is not worthy of your son, not worthy to marry into your family. Please forgive me. Sophia's eyes filled with anger. Shut up, Yana. How dare you commit a crime and then argue about it? I now formally accept Miss Harmony Mayo as my future daughter-in-law. If you dare to harm my family, I will not show you any mercy. Yana was shocked. She hadn't expected Harmony to be accepted. With the help of advanced technology, evidence of Yana's manipulated photos was quickly discovered. She would soon face a prison sentence. In the evening, Harmony and Ezekiel returned to their villa. Harmony brought home bags of gifts, but they were not from Ezekiel. Instead, they were gifts from Sophia and Cecilia to welcome her. As soon as Harmony entered the house, Ezekiel pulled her onto the couch and said, "Let's get married. I can't wait to marry you." Harmony blinked. "But I'm still in the middle of filming." "I'll wait for you," the man gently kissed her forehead. "Can we have a destination wedding?" Harmony asked him. This was the type of wedding she had always dreamed of. Ezekiel's eyes lit up. "That's exactly what I had in mind." In the following month, Harmony's schedule was condensed and quickly completed. Next, it was time for her and Ezekiel's planned wedding journey. Their first stop was Dansbury, where they met Ezekiel's father and relatives. However, Sophia still hosted a grand party for them in the villa, announcing their engagement. 3 days later, their plane took off. They were embarking on a global wedding tour, with every stop meticulously arranged by Ezekiel. This was a unique and meaningful wedding. The END.
Thank you for listening. If you have enjoyed this story, please like and share so others can see it too. Also hit the subscription button and notification bell so you can be notified on our next release. Thank you for your support. God bless you.